Today, we're going to look at two key techniques that will make your life as a student doing research that much easier. You may have heard of them. They're obviously skimming and scanning. Uh, as you know, all students who are in academia have to do copious amounts of research, does tons of research, reading through academic journals, looking for citations that you can use to bolster your arguments, to support your points, and drawing on outside, experts' opinions and research studies and things like that. The volume of reading you have to do can be quite daunting. Therefore, two of the strategies that we teach are, again, skimming and scanning. But what are they? What are the differences between skimming and scanning, and how can you employ them effectively in your own academic reading strategies? And so today we're going to look at these two in detail and find out what is the difference. Can we differentiate between them, and can we use them both effectively? So, first of all, once again, and these are time-saving strategies that you have so much to read, and it's quite heavy, dense information. Sitting there with just piles of journals or electronic journals going through with a fine-tooth comb is not going to work. You need to be able to streamline your research, and you need to be able to do it efficiently, effectively, and quickly. And again, two of the techniques to do this are skimming and scanning. I want you to think, do you know how they are different? Or have you ever heard any differences, or maybe have heard how they are different? What differentiates between the two? I want you to think about it for a second. All right, so let's talk about skimming first of all. So what is skimming? As you may have known, or may have guessed, skimming is going quickly over a text to get the general idea. Another word for the general idea would be the gist. You want to go over a text quickly just to get the general idea, and perhaps you would do this to make sure that whatever text you're hoping to use is actually appropriate for the essay that you're writing or the research paper that you're crafting. There's nothing worse than going through line by line, word by word through an article that is irrelevant and doesn't have anything that you need or will need for your essay. Therefore, often we employ this technique just to separate the wheat from the chaff, to separate what are good articles that you can therefore go ahead in more detail and look through in more detail and use, versus ones that you can just discard right off the bat. All right, so let's try this out. Skim this very short written work, and can you decipher what the general idea or the gist actually is? Here it is. Try and do it as fast as you can. All right. So if you decided that the general idea of this is a newspaper who is trying to reach out to small businesses who maybe want to advertise in their publication, be absolutely right. That is the general idea of this. And the whole point of skimming is not to read word for word. Does your business need more business advertising? You want to be looking for keywords. These are generally content words. In other words, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, these kind of words that carry meaning, as opposed to structure words, which are or often conjunctions, and small words, which don't. So if you were looking through the advertise in the Daily Herald's business directory, advertise maybe Daily Herald's business directory, ad reach 75,000 readers, need services, small business people, advertising paper, worthwhile investment. These are the keywords you need to be drawing out from this. And you can just go very quickly moving your hand over the text, or your finger over the text, or a pencil or pen over the text, or a highlighter or something like that. And very quickly through the first, maybe the introduction or the first page or two or the abstract, again, decipher whether this is an appropriate article that can help you in writing your essay, or maybe you need to move on and forget this one and leave it on the scrap pile. So if that's skimming, what is scanning? Well, as I'm sure you can guess, scanning is looking for specific information in a specific text. Okay, any text that you're using, you're going through with a fine tooth comb, looking for specific information. Now, when I say fine tooth comb, I don't mean again going word by word. You don't have time to do that. You will never get anywhere if you do that. So, scanning is looking for maybe facts, figures, data points that you can then use and you can pluck out and apply to your essay via citations, via paraphrasing and citing this source. So here's an example. Once again, we'll show the same text, and I want you to answer those three questions. How many people read the newspaper? How much does it cost to place an ad? What is the name of the publication? Go. All right. So hopefully you were very quick and be able to pinpoint the answers to these three questions. How many people read the newspaper? If you answered 75,000 readers, you're absolutely right. How much does it cost to place an ad? 50 cents per day. And what is the name of the publication? It's the Daily Herald, or if you want to really be specific, it's the Daily Herald's business directory. So this is the technique you want to use when you've already got your point in mind and you know that this article, maybe you've already skimmed it and you know that this article is appropriate, and now you need data points. You've got some point that you are arguing in your essay and you need facts and statistics to back it up. So you've got an appropriate article, maybe it's written by a luminary or an expert in the field who's well respected, and now I need to pluck those data points that I can use to prove my point in my essay and boost my argument by going and finding those data points as fast as possible. Now, the reason why I do it as fast as possible is because it's good to have a variety of sources. So rather than spending a lot of time plucking out data points from one article, which you could do, but it doesn't show a breadth of variety of sources, which your professor is really going to be looking for. They want to know that you've done a well-rounded essay by looking at a multitude, a plethora of sources. And so you want to move quickly through your essays, get the points that, prove your argument, and then go and get something else from another article that is also going to help boost your argument, prove your argument. And then you'll have, again, a multitude of sources and data points from all of them that then you can use in your essay, and your reference page will have, that reference list will be very long, it'll be very varied, and it will look like you've done a lot of research, which you have, but you've done a lot of research, from a wide variety of sources, which is exactly what your professor is going to be looking for. So just to recap, you want to use skimming to go over quickly through the text to make sure that this article is appropriate for what you're writing about and will be useful. And then you want to apply the technique of scanning to go and very quickly move to find statistics and facts and data that you can then cite, paraphrase, and cite in your essay to prove the arguments that you're making. Hopefully that clears up the difference between skimming and scanning, and again, hopefully you can use these effectively in your own research and research paper writing or essay writing experience. Thanks a lot. See you next time.